Recording is on. Welcome to another weekly webinar. Let's see what we got going on. All right, so we ended up the week with, Doji at the top of the move, a little bit of red on the weekly chart. So slightly beyond our supply, but definitely something going on up here. There's definitely resistance. We could see that, the last couple of days, not a lot of range, very small. We can see that actually it's like a little channel, which we'll see over here. You can see it down at 240. It's definitely got resistance here. So the question is, who's going to win the battle? Right? Is this going to become a pullback into demand, which is what I think we should be seeing? We're waiting for it to come all week. A little bit of a pull. We're not doing that major, crash or anything like that. Just pull back into demand, maybe this level, maybe this level. And then, again, the next rally up. That's what we're looking for here. So, the equities this whole week have been really choppy, back and forth. I mean, something just ridiculous. Have to be trading short term. They really weren't going anyplace. And I'm still looking for this little pullback into some of these underneath levels. You can see we sort of trend over a little bit up here. Definitely have an issue, in this area. And the lower highs are coming on, and there's air and all that kind of stuff. But, up till now, it's been resilient. Every time it tried to sell off, it bounces, it sells, it bounces. It's stopping people out left and right. The better move is that we're going to wait for something down here to go long, basically. Right? And on the way down, it's going to be choppy. Once we get into some of these levels under here, which I think we're going to start to see this week, I'll start, talking about longs again. But for now, it's really shorts down into these demand zones under here, even though we are looking at technically, still an uptrend, I think. I don't really see any pivots up here. Looks more like just a base drop off the top so far. This like drop, base drop, and then we really never took out this low yet, and so it's just stuck. So I would say that there's better opportunities than this right now. The direction is down for now until we get into some of these lower levels under here. NASDAQ still over here, looking a little bit weaker, actually. Take a look. We actually have 3 red days on NASDAQ. Looking at the weekly chart again, we have that, that doji at the top of the move. Where's my mouse? I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Okay. There we go. So we got this thing going on up here again. We're looking at the daily charts. We're seeing 3 reds down. Again, there's really not much in the way. You can see it over here. Look at the 240. It says underneath. There's just really nothing that's there. We've already touched this, and we're waiting for the pullback to come. That's what should be coming here. A little pullback, and then new highs after that. So again, I'm expecting weakness over here. Remember, this is actually the last week of the month. The Fed's got to start dumping their shit. So it's going to happen. Pretty sure we're going to see a red week coming for equities. So again, the direction is down, but it's bouncy on the way down. There's nothing we could do about it. But the people are still buying dips. Everybody's, every time they get a dip, they're, we better buy. So that's what's going on right now. And there's a lot of room over here. You could see that. So are we down to these levels? These levels for sure. They look like shit anyway. Probably going to break some of those. I would say we're looking at probably around 7,100 later in the week, and then from there we'll start to see a rally start. Okay, so we're going to try and stay short on the equities again, down into some of the higher time frame demand zones. So sell over here. We'll get a first pause. And I think we have a chance to get down into this 7,100 and change, which is a 240 level underneath us for the NASDAQ, just because, again, we're coming off the all-time highs. Right? The ES never got there. All right, so we're looking for shorts. Where are they? The levels look like crap right now, only because of what's been going on over the last couple of days and sideways and stuff. So they're really not on the chart yet. That's the truth. The truth is we have to wait for this to break down, back just a little bit. And when they start to show, expect me to be a little more active this week, putting out levels and stuff like that. So I will definitely be putting it out there for you. Okay. So the crude. Crude is doing what we like. right? We had the doji at the top 2 weeks ago. And we've got red, and now we've bottom of the channel. We're into some demand. What's looking to me over here is an attempt at a rally that's sort of failing, right? Look carefully at the candles one at a time. We have a nice push up, right? And then we tried again. We actually gapped down. There was rollover, and then we tried to fill the gap. We couldn't go anywhere. We tried again. We couldn't go anywhere. 4 days already now. And we're just sitting right there, which looks to me that we're chewing through demand that's underneath here. And we're probably going to see one more leg down, I think, from here. That's what it looks like. We're going to come into like this 64 area, okay, which means we're probably going to break the bottom over here. It looks like we've tried to build a little nice looking bottom over here on crude. It looks like we're trying. Until we get above, this thing, it's just doing nothing, right? And very easily can do this, which is what I actually believe it's going to attempt to do, and try and push down through the lows. Okay? We'll see what the 60 is showing us. So here we go. We got ourselves caught up in some supply up here. We've been banging against it for a couple of days. Right? Looks like 2 days so far. And the level was created back here, prior month's contract. Now we're rallying up into that. We're getting ourselves stuck. It's right at 69. We have trouble getting back to 70, it looks like. 70 would definitely have an attempt at supply if it should be able to do a rally-based rally. There's no way to know because right now it's just stuck in between the supply and the demand. There's room underneath us. And we're coming out of supply, so someplace around here, we'll get a better picture, right? If we break up into the 70s, it will actually, sort of flip trend over here, a little stronger. We do have a pivot here and here. All right, so we did make the uptrend. We are above the 50, and it's sort of sloped up, but it's looking like it's topping out over here a little bit. It needs to get through this, 69 level to really get this thing started back in the direction. I think it's going to fail. I think it's actually going to break down. We're going to get some demand underneath us. Let's go look at some of the zones there that are on target for this week. Let's take a look. All right, trying to get up. There we go. So we got something around 65. And then this big air pocket over here and bring us almost all the way down to 64. Yeah, let's go look at those zones for a second. Refresh my memory what they look like. Oops, past them. So this one's a failed hammer over here. So we traded into it already. That's why we have just the one. We'll check that. And then this one down here around 6. Oh, this we were trading that. This is the next fresh one, 65, and then the 64. 65 looks okay. This is the 64, 65, 80, whatever it is, right over here. And the next one, that one doesn't look like anything really. Small little tight doji on a 60 chart. Based rally. Yeah, I'm not seeing so much that crude has, it has a possibility for additional pressure selling off time. On the upside, there's definitely room. There's definitely resistance going up here. No question about what happened over the last, 2 weeks that we've created a lot of supply up here. So it isn't really going to break out too far to the upside. I think the risk is really more on the downside. It's where I'd like to be, actually. I think we have room under here. So maybe we wait till we get rid of this demand zone, because that thing is definitely something. I know what that is, right? So we got to get rid of that. So the trades will look like this. Into the demand. If we rally up and make a lower high someplace over here, that's where we're going to start our shorts. All right, you're allowed to buy the longs down here off the demand zone. If we drop straight into the zone, you can take the long. That is the trend. All right, and then we'll watch what happens as we get out of here. I think we're actually going to create a lower high, but no way to know just yet. All right. So it's long out of the zone down here, and then look for shorts somewhere around the breakout area. Okay. Target is like 64. It's pretty big. The weekly chart is pointing down like that. All right, let's take a look at the weekly chart one more time. Yeah, I mean, there's no real demand under here, right? It's just this trend, little resistance area that we got going on. And this one is even pointing down to, just the wick over here. This is like the 64 area. The fresh demand is even lower than that. So it's looking to me like we're going to see one more week of selling for crude. Okay. Who's got a question? George. Yes, George.
Hey, Joe. Two questions, actually. The first one is when you draw your zone. I know you don't like to include adjacent candle bodies, but both in the ES 60 and the CL 60, you drew the doji, but you included the adjacent candle bodies. At what point?
ES 60 chart.
It was at 2779.
Hold on. Okay, so 2779. I drew the doji over here.
Right.
And this leg over here, and so you have to pick the leg up. So what's the
that green one
the wick of this candle is actually lower than the doji, so there's no choice. You have to draw that.
Okay.
You see that this wick, this is the wick of the proximal. That's distal, and this is the proximal top of the doji. That's what
okay. So I didn't know. I wasn't sure why you included that body, that green one right there.
Because this wick is lower than the doji. If I only draw the doji, my zone is going to be above the wick. I want that.
Okay.
Okay. So and this is a engulfing candle. Yeah, that's what I drew there. And that's probably the same thing for crude, I think. It looks like, if I remember. There is a big engulfing with a little doji behind it, right? So
I don't remember on the 60 crude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Let's go. Yeah, it is. Same thing. See?
Okay, same thing.
See? Wick here, wick here. That's what I did. All right. So you want to make it a little smaller? Yeah, you can draw it like this. But when there's a doji like that, I like to sort of pick it up. Okay.
Okay. And the other question was, like on NQ, you said this zone is garbage. At times I see zones, but you say they're garbage. Is that because on a higher time frame you don't see it, or what caused you to say that?
No. It's telling me where NQ. Let's go see where we were talking about. It wasn't on this chart. When there's something there that's very small, not a big leg out, right? And it looks like under here, like this. This is what we're saying. This shit over here. This is all garbage. It's something that you would buy when we're just pulling back and hitting demand and rallying and putting back and hitting demand and rally. You have no choice. It's the first level of demand. But when you come back over here, we have start selling pressure. This is not strong enough to hold the price back from collapsing. How do I know? Because look, all the levels are stepping into each other. They've been touched. And they're very small legs out. There's none of this business. Big, giant moves. You don't have that here. All these little zones on top of zones on top of zones. When we start selling off, that doesn't hold. That creates new supply. You'll get into that zone, you'll base, and you'll drop to the next zone. And you'll base, and you drop to the next zone. When you're coming to hold price back from an avalanche, you need something better than this garbage. That's what I call garbage.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you, Joe.
No problem. Okay, next. All right, let's look at the gold. We know that the dollar finally made the beginning of what I believe is its sell-off. All right, the dollar has topped out. It's done. It's made the move it was going to make. It's finished. It's time to retrace most of it now. So I think over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be seeing strength for gold currencies. The dollar is dead. It's at. Once Trump opened his mouth, money was over. So right now we know gold had a really nice pop on Friday, and it actually started Thursday and then continued Friday, right? It had a nice back test, right? We had a big push up. You can see it here, off some demand back there, and then we sold off and retested, and then we made new highs. So we got an uptrend going over here, okay? And we've got some air above us. We're inside some supply right now, which we'll look at 15 as well. But you can see up here that there's a big air pocket waiting over here all the way back to 1245. So this is a really nice looking bottom. It's been tested, it's been confirmed, and we're scrolling up through the air. So actually right now, you know, there's new demand over here. Let's put some of the levels on. I haven't gotten a chance to draw yet. Very nice looking demand right here at 1220. Okay. Right around here, if you want to draw it as a full doji, understand that. Maybe just underneath it, right here. Right. And you can see on the other side back here what that was. Right. So there's definitely something going on down here. This is what the bottom looks like. Drop, base, drop, rally into supply, sell off, higher, low, new highs. That's it. This is the bottom. It's here. So gold is finished. It's ready to start rallying now. We're in an uptrend. We're starting to buy demand. That's what we're looking at. So long gold, 1245 will give us a pullback, and just the whole week is going to be buy pullbacks, buy pullbacks, buy pullbacks, because by the end of the week, I think we're going to see a really violent move up for gold. Take a look at the weekly chart for a second. Actually, we'll start on the right here. We've had how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 weeks with that little doji in the middle of straight down for gold. And now it's time to start to do some serious retracing, right? We came back into demand. The demand is actually a daily level that we hit. It's in between these little things over here on the weekly chart. And it looks like this. Big ass engulfing after the hammer candle, right? On the daily chart. This is what the bottom looks like on the daily. We hit the daily, we had drop base, drop, fight off, retest, notice the low is higher, and then engulf. So you see here, there's really air all the way back to like this 1245 and stuff, right in the middle of the zone, right? And then from here, we will get another pullback, and then the first higher low on the daily chart, because we don't have it yet, right? For the trend to change on the daily, we need to have a higher low than a higher high. So right now, it started on the lower time frames. It's already in an uptrend on the 60. I just showed it to you. Now it's going to start to translate itself through the auto time frames, which means, you know, what this level, you have to get out of your long because you have to expect it's going to do something like this and create a higher low. And then we'll start the bigger moves, right? But that's what we're going to be looking at this week. It's buy the pullbacks into demand, sell at supply on the higher time frame until we've got an uptrend going, okay? So for now, it's longs where we are. You can see the 60, there's the 240. We're about to break through this resistance area. You see the air pocket on the other side. It's really nice looking symmetry going on over here, right? And we should be breaking through this up into this area. Then the pullback will come. I don't know if it's going to back test the trend line or something like that. We'll find out what it looks like when it breaks, but that would create the higher low for the daily chart, right? And for this chart as well. It's also still in a downtrend. Arguable if you're counting this as a pivot. It looks to me like it's just two candles. I'd like to see one more. So I'm pretty sure we're going to sell off up here and make a higher low, and then we're, you know, back up into the higher levels. So gold for now over the next few weeks should start a massive rally. Okay, so you can catch it early, catch it now at the bottom. Okay, and if you want to swing trade for it, you're looking at you know, somewhere around 1300. I would say is the next real issue that you're going to have, all the way back up here on this weekly level up here. Okay, so something like this, back test it here, and then we'll have to see if it's able to get through. So, okay, so think longs for gold. Let's take a look at the 15-minute chart, see if there's any price. There's a couple of zones we created on Friday. We have to clear this supply. Obviously, this one is something going on, but we've hit it a couple of times, and surprisingly, you know, very small pullbacks. It's a pretty strong demand zone. Hit it once, hit it twice, actually made a higher low, coming back to it. So we'll see if we can get through there. Obviously, between here and here, there's nothing. Just a beautiful pocket of air that we can create. Otherwise, you know, we'll have to start looking at demand. You know, there's demand under here. If we get a pullback, if we're able to push a little higher, there'll be demand over here. Right? So, looking for excuses to get long. Okay. Good. Let's look at the dollar. We know what happened over there. Let's start to top out, and we get a really rejection of the highs in a massive way. Right? There's the high, this thick, and it gets inverted hammer, and then a big continuation. Right? Look at the 240. We're down into the air, and right over here we're getting a little base. We may get a little, something pop up like this, but we're now down here. And on the weekly chart, we're going to fail over here from this level. We're going to start to break down, and we should end up somewhere down here. So, 90, back all the way back down to 90 at least. That's what I'm seeing over here. So 93, that's a given. That's most likely going to happen this week. But after that, I think we're even heading lower. So we're going to see some pretty big selling kick in over here, and it's time to trade accordingly. Meaning we're going to look for longs finally on our euros and on our Aussie and yen, and all those currencies are really ready to pop. Euro starting on Friday. Nice big move off. We're still flagging on the weekly chart, but we're starting to show over here some really nice moves. Over here, this defense of this level right over here, big rally off the low, and then base, and then another big rally, boom, all the way back. We've done the little V bottom action over here. We should have one small little pullback, and then up through the top. So we should see something like this, There's air all up here. Look at this. Plenty of room on top of this thing. So, again, with the dollars topping out, euro's going to start to pop. You can look up here. There's the air. Okay, so remember that this sell-off back here really started on nothing. Anyway, we're in the air as it is. So now that we've retraced all that, it's finished. We need one little higher low here, which we sort of got, a nice hold. You get the higher low, base rally. Then we're going to get a sell-off here, higher low, and then we break through here. We end up here someplace. So another big move up for euro coming. Okay, and we're going to buy pullbacks into demand. There's some nice looking zones over here. The 60 chart. Okay, so we've got demand over here so far. This over here may have demand depending on what happens later. If we're able to turn this around and end up somewhere up here, there'll be a demand zone here that's not there just yet. Okay, and we got to clear some of these pivots back here for that to work. Otherwise, right now we have this level that we're looking at. Okay, and 6, 8 and change. Or else, all right, that's really it. Even on the 15, the levels are there. So we've hit some supply. You can see that over here. We sort of pull back. If this level starts to hold, on the 15 chart, you actually can buy this level, right? We're in an uptrend here on the 60 as well. You can buy this demand. We'll see what it looks like when it opens tonight. But we want to be long. Let's just take a look above us what the supply zones are looking like as we start to rally. Let's take a look. So we've got plenty of room over here. Yeah, it's supply, but it's been hit once. Oh yeah, there's. Let's say for now we're looking at a target probably around 1.9. Looks like for this week for euros, continuation to the upside. All right, let's look at nat gas, which has been selling off. It finally hit the 2.7 target. Had a really nice bounce off of 2.7, landed back in supply of 240, and starting to turn over again. I think nat gas is rolling over this week, so pay attention to that. On the 60, there's the bounce off of 2.7, right? And a nice push up. We hit the supply. It starts to sell off again, and we've got a ton of air over here. So this is likely to get retraced. It looks like, again, more selling pressure going to come in. And obviously 2.7 is in trouble now. So we're going to talk about even getting lower than that. If we look, remember last week we talked about like the weekly chart showing something like 2.5 change, right? Yeah. Continuation over here. We're getting a little resistance, right? This is the 2.7 that we've hit, right? right here, and then if we start to retrace that, we're talking about something down here. So stay short nat gas for now. Looks like it's no bottom in sight just yet. Okay. Until we get higher lows on the 60, which we're not getting, there's no reason to consider getting out of any shorts. You can continue to sell supply. So here on the 15, we have a low. Yeah, that's old supply. Looks like did work actually. There's the demand over here. There's just so much freaking air over here. Holy cow. Look at this. Wow. This thing starts pushing down under 7.5. It's going to go right through the bottom. Okay. Short nat gas. That's the way to go. Yen had a nice rally. On Friday, big move. Finally showing some life. It was after this thing was just dying. Couldn't find legs, right? Looks like it touched the bottom of our beginning of our demand all the way down here on the weekly chart. That other level didn't hold. It actually created supply. All right, let's put that on. Okay, you can see on the daily over here what happens, right? We hit our demand, we hit the supply the first day and paused a little bit, and then boom, right up through the air, you could see where it's heading, right? There's nothing in the way. This is going to be a really nice V-bottom. We're going to get supply up here. We'll get some resistance. We'll get a pullback, and that'll give us an opportunity into the trade. Okay? There's some nice-looking demand, I think, right around this level on the smaller time frame. So go and look at it. Yen, there we go. There's our 60, okay? And you can see that we've still got air above us. This is the first level there is, and actually another level over here. We made no highs through this thing. With a big failed hammer. That was actually the supply on the other side. This is supply, it became demand. You can buy that. Okay, it looks like inside here there may be something either on a smaller time frame also as we make our way up here. So let's buy the pullbacks for now on the yen. There we go. So it looks like we landed ourselves up into some supply over there. Let's start at the highest level. There is demand sitting over here. Leg in. Right there. There's another one under here. This one we already drew, I think, before. You could see that to the left, this was the prior highs that we broke out and tested them. Here. Alright, we break through that level, and then we come back and we bang on top, make sure we're good. We are good, good, good. Then we make a higher low, and then it's just boom, bye-bye. So there's definitely demand inside this, and that's what we're looking at. Pullbacks on the yen, finally, long. Hey, Louis, what's up?
Hey, Joe.
What's going on?
Quick question. Can you, just wanted to find out how you determined that 60 minutes on EC was an uptrend. I'm trying to figure out where was your pivot point.
Hold on, let's go look.
Thanks.
EC. What did EC look like? I forgot already. Base rally off the bottom. Is that what it was? Yeah. This is not an uptrend yet.
So it's still the downtrend, right?
Yes, this is still down.
Okay.
We have a rally, base, rally here. This is down. On the 15, I think I was talking about the 15 when I said up, right? Pretty sure. And I said buy this level over here because the 15 was up. But yeah, the 60 is not up just yet. Agreed. Agreed totally. Here you go. Yeah, this is the 15 that's up. Uh-huh. So this
Okay.
one you agree with me is yeah, I agree that the 60 is still down. This little level over here where we have a bunch of pivots on the 15 is not on the 60 yet, right? These are clearly
So
pivots
15
over
up,
here.
16 down.
Yeah, 60 is still down so far.
Okay.
Right? And yep, no problem.
Sounds
Nice.
good. Thanks.
You got it. Okay. And we looked at with JY. Let's look at Aussie. Some of these I didn't get a chance to draw out, so we'll do them together. So Aussie finally makes the rally off the bottom. That's obviously with gold rallying, the dollar selling, and all that fun stuff. So Aussie makes a huge reversal candle over here. Big bounce off the lows. It looks like it never actually really broke down out of the demand. You can see it over here. It just hit it a couple of times, and then it starts to rally up. But this gap is still in the way. We do have a new demand zone. I'm going to draw it on the 60. It looks like probably a little better on the 60. That's somewhere around 73.70. Yeah, there it is. Let me grab the demand line first. All right, so here's our low. We rally, base rally. We're coming back. This is the gap. So what's left of the gap is this much. About 12 ticks to go. And the demand is sitting now over here. So we're looking at, what is that? 45.62. Put down a bit more. About 10 ticks. Right here on the 60, there's some demand for the Aussie dollar. There's a level here we'll put on the 15, I think, over here. And it's, buy the pullbacks again. This one technically is also still down on the 60, but it's about to flip. 15 has already turned up. So we broke some supply down there. That's good. We want to look at demand. Yeah, that's actually supply turned into demand. So this one is pretty clear. Sitting on top of all this. And we got these puppies right here. Very nice. Yep, 73.75. That's what we're looking at. You can see there's all these highs back here. Boom, boom, boom. This one has turned around already, so now it's time to go long. All right, Aussie dollars pulling that. We're looking for longs, and I like this 73.80. These little dojis over here look fantastic. Right at the prior highs. Beautiful. Okay, we'll watch those. And pounds, also nice reversal on the daily chart over there. Big pop, has a lot of air. It's going to run into some resistance over here, but it did a little V-bottom action over here. We can see that it broke this supply zone on the 240. Let's take a look. Okay, so this should actually take off already. Well, looks like it may appear actually. Let's see if that works out or not. Little supply. This is 60 supply over here. These overlapping wicks will draw on the 60. So there's still room over here. Looking like a huge V potential coming over here for the pounds. Should be getting all the way back to this thing. All right, we should have some resistance over here, and we'll create one of these. Right, we'll push up, push down, and then do this. Right. This will come out on this side of the chart. Let's look at it on the 60. Okay. Where are you, Mr. Demand? So we haven't touched the other supply. That's the demand that we broke through, the supply that we broke through. So there's some demand over here. Get the width of the legs in, so that's a little big. Let's look at somewhere in this range over here. It looks like when we broke through these highs, see, we tested them back over here. Maybe on the 15 it will be a little clearer. And there's some supply up here on the 60 that we're going to have to deal with. So again, it's making more sense that we should hit that level, right? And then pull back into the demand and then break through the top. We should hit this, pull back, and then turn around, and then up here. Okay, so that's what we're looking for pounds to do. Let's look at this 15 chart. What's going on over here? Yes, sir. Here's the doji. And that's right at the highs, but it's sort of level on level with this inverted hammer over here. This thing. And then, we can look at this. It's too big also. It's too big still. So, we're looking for pullbacks into the demand zone. This looks a little better over here. If we draw like this, right here. So it's to the left of that. Yeah, there we go. There's the supply. Right here. Okay. There's potentials for long sitting over here. Again, I think the better move is to wait out the supply to get taken out above us and then a pullback into the demand zone that I just drew over here for the longs. So that's the move. So patience on the pound long. We will wait for it to clear that supply first. Oh boy. So this is a higher low and an engulfing candle on the daily chart. Right, and this should explode out of this sucker. Wicked pop. Friday for Canadian. Bunch of crap we gotta clean up over here. Let's go to work. Get rid of this shit. Just created some demand. That supply still works. This was taken out, created demand, here. Alright. Let's see. Open up to 60. What are we looking at? Here. This one I'm not drawing only because it's already got a lower high. This little video, right? So don't know what it's going to do yet. Over here, 15. So we got this under here, under all this crap, right? And then you got this little doji right at the beginning where all the highs were taken out. Two levels. And then we got this middle thing over here. It looks like a double top to me that will probably get retraced. How far? We'll find out. It should go back to here. But wait again for these supply zones to end, right, to get cleaned out, which they're doing now. We want to buy the pullback into demand. Is the trend up yet? No, it's actually not on the 60. It's actually still down for Canadian as well. So this one has a lot of air under there, and if crude starts selling off, it may retrace this whole thing, even though it's dollar rally. So I'm not very excited about a long Canadian. I think the euro looks a lot better for the long. The Aussie looks better. Canadian, so it's not as good. Look at the other ones first. If we push down to some of these demand and starts holding, or we're creating higher lows, then we'll talk. But for now, the other currencies look stronger. Copper, what did we look at the end of the day? So, yeah, sideways. Still a red candle. We landed in weekly demand after some wicked selling. You can see we sort of bounced back on the 240, but have not broken any supply yet. Okay, all we did was hold the bottom, and we're back to the supply. So this could very well turn over again. This is all China, right? Related to Trump and his fun little tariffs that are going on, and Chinese economy, and they keep devaluing their currency, and whole war going on. But right now, supply is there. We're at it, and it's looks like so far it's doing its job. So no reason to think of anything other than shorts just yet. We're actually at a supply zone, and that's a short. Right? Copper tends to move around a lot on Sunday night right at the open, so be careful. It may gap up and hit this supply, I don't know, or just collapse. So watch out. But right over here, this is just a pullback into the supply zone in the downtrend. There's nothing wrong with taking shorts over here. Yeah, I see this little thing over here. I'm still not thinking that that's really much, to be honest with you. And we'll find out what happens. This little, it's looking like a little pullback into this little thing over here, right? And a little sell-off. And so we touched the lows. We sold off. We made a higher low, so yeah, could you call that an uptrend? Yeah, technically you can. There's 3 candles down and 3 candles up. So it fits the criteria. Just looks to me like this supply zone over here is going to cause some trouble. So if it breaks the supply over here, I'm all for it. We can talk about getting long. But if it starts selling off over here, it's probably not going to hold us anymore. And again, with what's going on in the news, what's going on with China, so copper is in trouble. So not looking too strong at all. All right, copper and soy. Soy is also related to China. Okay, the first thing they put the tariffs on is the soybeans. We ended up getting a hold finally. I mean, the first green candle in quite some time. We had one 2 weeks ago. That was a failed hammer. It's worse than a freaking green candle. And then we get some serious, decent looking candle. Right? And what it was so far is a back test into the daily supply zone. That's what we got. So what happens over there? Well, we're at a downtrend, then we've hit supply. So we're going to sell off. What's going to happen? And, are we going to break the bottom again? That remains to be seen. But we are going to sell off from this level. And we'll end up somewhere over here and find out, somewhere down around 25 points lower if we're going to hold the bottom or not. So shorts from where we are seem to be the way to go. Look at soy up here. On the 60, it's pretty much all week fighting against this little gap thing that we have going on, and it's actually built some demand underneath us, which I'm going to draw right now. There's a little demand about 840 something right here. It needs to have that that pullback to the daily level to figure out if it's really ready to rally or not. So we should be getting a back test into this demand over here, which I'm going to draw right now as a matter of fact. Not easy finding a soy demand line, right? I've been selling off for weeks. Okay. About 840 something right over there. And there should be something here as well. It's the same level really on the 15 chart over there. So, pullbacks from soy over here, you can see we made more highs over here. A pullback, I think, into the 845, even possibly 833. That level looks pretty strong. Right? Down over here, if it can get through this 43 area, looking at a nice little pocket of air down into that strong demand. And we're coming off of a daily supply zone, so that's the trade. Short down into this level down here at 830 something. I think that's probably what we're going to see. And then if it holds, we'll talk about getting long after that. But until then, it's stay short. Stay short. No reason to get long yet. Okay, George, what's up?
Joe, Lisa is trying to ask you a question, but she cannot raise her hand.
Why not, Lisa? What's the matter, darling? Lisa, I don't have a question icon, not sure why. Okay. Go ahead, type it, darling. Type your question. Thanks, George. Type your question, Lisa. Okay. I'm going to log out and in again. Okay. You can do that, or you can just type the question. Software problem. Okay. So I'll go on in the meantime, but if you want to just type the question, it's fine. All right. I'll go on in the meantime. US. So, look what happened. Massive engulfing hit. Right? Breaks the bottom over here on Friday. Hits new demand. It's a back test on the weekly chart. Right? We were up at the middle of this thing, and now we're sewing off. We've got to come into demand, and we should start to see this. Okay? Get back up into this zone. Right? Trump is not happy that the interest rates are going up. So we should start to see something happen about that over here on this charts, right? We got up into this doji supply that we were talking about last week, and it hung out there for about a day or so, and then there's the collapse. It takes out the demand that was underneath us. And we fall into something higher time frame, right? This is like weekly demand, I think we got to remember here. Yeah, let's put the chart on there. Let's put the level on the weekly chart. We're touching this doji now, right? This little puppy. So we should get a hold out of this thing, a higher low, and then, push up into the 149-ish. I think we're going to see this daily demand hold. Right? It's a pretty ugly looking engulfing candle, but, we have a gap in this area, and we have pretty strong demand over here. We'll see what it does over the next couple of days. It's already starting, at least on Friday. When it hit that thing, it started to bounce back already, so potential for V-bottoms. 60 trend is still down. Okay, so no rush into the longs yet. All right, looking at a downtrend over here. Yeah, so it's down, and then we rallied up, made another new low, so we're still down. So no rush on the longs at all. Take your time until it develops. If you want to stay short, so that the supply is right here, nice looking supply for 15. Okay. Right here. There we go. That's Liza back with a question. Someone's there. Let's see. Is that you? It is. Hi, Liza. What's up?
Hey, Joe. Sorry, my question is on the BP, so you may want to finish this.
No problem. We'll go back
and then
to BP.
you can go back.
Now we're done. BP, what do you like?
On the 15-minute chart, You know how you do a few levels? My question is kind of more of a general question. So if it starts breaking that first level, that first 15-minute demand zone, because we're still on the downtrend on like the higher time frame, would that change how you trade the lower level when it comes back? Because sometimes it comes back really hard, right? Because all the higher time frames are still on a downtrend.
Yes, that's correct. So first of all, the 60 is still down, right? Even on BP, and obviously everything after that is still down as well, right? Which means we're at 240 downs, right? The daily is down. So I think your question is, once we start pulling back over here, if we break the first level, do I get more concerned with the levels?
Yes, like even if it breaks the second. Right. Like if it breaks your first and second level of demand, when it comes back to the third one, you're on a pretty strong downward move, right? Yeah. Because sometimes I get caught in those situations and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stop the long, right?
Right. So I hear your question. I understand it, and I think the way to deal with something like that, right, is if you're talking about the swing trade, that's what we're talking about here, sort of, right? We're talking about bigger time frame trade. You just wait for one of these zones to hold for you. You'll get a signal to get in. One of the lower levels. Once the 15 is giving you a hold, you can be sure that you're going to get the 60 at that point, because we're already talking about a situation where the rallies have started. Right? We're making like a V bottom on the 240, strong, big strong.
Yes, I see it. Yeah.
You see it, right? So that pullback over here that we're talking about now shouldn't do this. It should not. If it does, that means forget about getting long altogether. But I'll take
like at which point would you stop looking for a long here? Yeah, like would you look at the 240 chart and say say that if it goes beyond here, I'm going to stop looking for the long?
I understand your question totally. So what we're saying like this is, if I end up back inside this zone over here, I don't want to be long anymore. I don't want to be that. It has to stop someplace over here, which means on the 60 and 15 chart, I think I have two zones over here before we get to like 1350. If it comes all the way back to 1350, it's probably going to break the bottom.
Okay, that's what I need to know. Yes, like at which point do I say I'm going to draw the line and go, I don't want that.
Right. So let's go look over here. I'll show you why I'm saying that. Okay, so. Okay, so this is the 15 chart, right? If we come back all the way down to this area, we've taken out all this and all this.
Right.
Look how this here has to stop prices. If it doesn't, and we end up underneath that, you don't want to be long anymore. That's what it comes down to.
Okay, I got it.
So you can see why, right? Because we're talking about this becoming some kind of higher low.
Right.
So this one, okay, the first one we've all agreed it's a little bit weak. It's right at the top. There's nothing going there. But this is a strong zone. There's a rally sideways for 2 days, a breakout from the area. If this doesn't hold price, then I don't want the long anymore. I don't want the long. That's the line in the sand. It's right here. Okay?
I got it. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Anyone have any other questions before we wrap up today? All right. So this week will be quite a busy week. I expect a lot of entries into longs on the currencies and gold, and maybe we even get the big sell-off in the equities that I'm looking for. So stay tuned. I will be tweeting a little bit extra this week. Look out for those. Everyone, this Wednesday is a live trading week, so we'll have a webinar Wednesday and a live trading session as well. So Tim has a question. Okay, cool. Hey, Tim. What's up, man? Question, Tim? No? Maybe?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had the mic off.
No. Okay. Cool.
You answered the question. I was going to ask if there was a live trading this week.
No, yeah, cool. So Wednesday we have live trading. Cool. All right, 10 a.m. Eastern. All right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Ciao.